back at the rack. And there's Mason Parris. He's undefeated. His opponent is undefeated. We're at the heavyweight championship match for the Big Ten Wrestling Championships on BTN. And here it is, the heavyweight match. Mason Parris, the sophomore, undefeated, going up against the undefeated Gable Steveson, a sophomore. It's a clash of titans, and it's the first time they've ever met.
Well, it could be the rivalry of the future. Certainly in this weight class, it could be with the age of these two fellas here, both as sophomores, and with the way that they both progressed. Of course, Gable, shot onto the scene last season and top-rated guy. And Parris, with the improvement that you've talked about so frequently.
Mason Parris all the way to the finals, a shutout over Game Trent Hilger, and Gable Steveson beating the number 3 seed, perhaps the third best wrestler in the nation, 9-4. So it's number 1, number 2. Here we go.
Yeah, I look at that bracket, Tim, and I see Tony Cassioppi and I've seen Trent Hilger. Those are two really good heavyweights, all right? But these two here have separated themselves with their action.
We're off action.
Yeah, you were referring to what I said about Mason Parris. He's transitioned to be a big-time wrestler from an athlete. He went to the Olympic Training Center last summer. He had great workout partners, and it was his first full year as a wrestler because it's well documented. He was a 3-time sport guy, 3-time state champion or linebacker, and he is using some linebacker moves there and gets in on the leg, but nice job of scrambling by Gable.
Yeah, you see the athletic ability of both men in that situation. Beautiful little swing single by Parris and answered really well. You see how Steveson was able to go ahead and drag him along a little bit when makes the adjustment, he squares up well. And when Steveson is wrestling well, you never see hardly any weight on the heels. I bet you when he's drilling, he's not putting any wear on his heels at all. So when he's operating, he's got his heels up off the ground with very little weight, and he's attacking just like that.
2 points to Gable
Cat-like.
Steveson, 4-time state champion out of Apple Valley, Minnesota.
Super.
They're both world champions, both junior world champions.
We're off.
Both of them have put on size over the last year.
Yeah, you mentioned 20 to 25 pounds, both men. Spending the right time.
Let's get a fair start here, gentlemen. Bottom of your set.
Just
Don't move.
maturing.
Cover and hold for the
That's the other thing too. They're both young guys.
Steveson was wrestling here in June at the Final X here at Rutgers in June for a chance at the world team, and he lost 4-4 and 3-3 to Gwiz, our man. And so Gable Steveson right there, back on the stage at Rutgers here at the rack for a Big Ten championship.
And no secret, Gable can go ahead and attack, 3 quadrants of the body. He can go low on both sides, shoots head to the outside shot, and he really works well off a left-handed underhook to go ahead and score points.
Mason Parris out of Lawrenceburg High School in Lawrenceburg, Indiana. He was a 3-time state champion. He was 3rd as a freshman. That was his only loss in high school. It was 206-1. Yeah, and he was 3rd as a freshman at 182. 3-time first-team All-State linebacker. And he qualified for the state and shot put in 110 high hurdles. So quite an athlete, but he has become quite a wrestler, a world champion. And now undefeated, facing Gable Steveson for the first time ever.
Both guys look pretty fresh out there as far as the wear. Nice little slide by drag there. Beautiful finish. And just love seeing the guy with the lead, right, late in the first period, and a beautiful escape there. You see the athletic ability on that shoulder roll, and what made that unique was that it was with Steveson on the right-hand side of the body. Normally you learn that on one way, and talk about young man learning wrestling here to hit that shoulder roll, from the opposite side. That's pretty good wrestling. Now Mason Parris in on a shot. Not much time though. Oh. Yeah, going in.
Well, that fired up the corner.
Take a look at that end of the period action here. The clock was off. I think Gable understood that and relaxed a little bit. But good job of by Parris making a statement, making an impression. There's his third quick escape. Only giving up 34 seconds of riding time, so he needs to. His path to victory here is just to keep the activity level high. You may give up a takedown, maybe even two, but if you can keep that activity level high, when he gets in the top position, he can be pretty effective if he tires his opponents out.
That action there at the end did fire up Sean Dormet, the head coach in his second year as the head coach at the University of Michigan and his alma mater. So a two-time All-American there, and Josh Sharella, also All-American for his alma mater, Michigan, and they liked the attack and the answer, but it was too late there at the end of the first period. It's 4-3 now. No riding time advantage. Anybody's ball game.
Parris having a hard time getting through that collar tie defense. To see that right at the end there, he hit a little shuck right there to get him a little bit of a better angle to clear off to get to the middle of the mat.
Red, you won first warning.
In the second period on Gable Steveson. He's right back in.
Oh, wow.
Where's action?
Continuous action here to the big guys, and the crowd really appreciates that.
I appreciate it. We appreciate it. Boom.
You know, very few people get away from that left-handed underhook, and then he rolls them through and then gets his belt buckle to the mat. Maybe take advantage of back points at
Fingers.
More real
Out of the
estate.
fingers.
A long way from over. 20 seconds left in the second period. 4-3. Gable Steveson ahead, has been warned for stalling.
And I think that's what Parris needs to do, is kind of create some of those type of scrambles to test the conditioning of Steveson. And I'm not making the assumption that isn't going to be
Minnesota,
hard
your
on
choice.
Parris too with his conditioning. But you know, you got to go ahead and try to push the pace of the match, particularly when you're behind.
4-3, gentlemen. Third period. Bottom of your set. Top
Mason
cover.
Parris
Hold
coming
to the
on
whistle.
top. Finalists for Michigan. They have 3 Olympic red shirts. Stefan Micic, Logan Massa, and Miles Amin.
One escape,
Amin
Red.
and Micic both are going to be Olympians. And they,
What do you got there? Okay.
what are they going to call? I mean, he had no way to go.
Yeah, went right into the head table.
No
Sequence.
takedown,
Yeah.
but it was a drive.
Yeah, for whatever reason, it looked like Parris just stopped for a second while the head was down. And I think what Brandon Megum is going to protest is the fact that he had both ankles kind of lassoed up here before they went into the table. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I would be protesting if I was in the corner. Now take a look at Steveson hit the shot, and once he hits the shot, he drops down to both ankles. Down there, comes down, drops down to both ankles, and there's just not much room in these.
Confirmed no takedown. Brandon Agam in his 4th year as the head coach. He was a 2-time Big Ten champion, 3-time All-American, part of a Big Ten championship team in 1999. Heading up the program at Minnesota, losing that challenge.
And Parris has not had an answer for that left-handed collar tie. See how he's working the head there, Tim? Coming hard with the left hand right there, coming over the top. And
Minute 20 left in the regulation. The score's 5-3. There's no riding time.
when Steveson doesn't like the position, so you can feel everything that's coming with that left-handed collar tie. Now he's in a position to score.
Big word you just used there. Steveson has such a feel.
Yeah. Now he slides back a little further.
You know the attack's going to keep coming.
Great change in angle there after the low pick, but he didn't want to put too much work into it. Yeah, he got an escape and a takedown there.
So now Mason Parris in a hole, 7-4.
Back to that left arm, forearm. See how he feels everything, comes inside each shot. you know, the athletic ability of Gable Steveson is one thing, right? But again, I use this word a couple different times. We're talking about Mark Hall, the wisdom of how to control a match, you know, in your favor. You control ties. You can probably give up the takedown here.
He gives up the takedown at 7-6. He lets him go. And he's got 5 seconds. Mason Parris, 5 seconds. And Gable Steveson going to fend him off and win his championship, his first championship after falling short last year. And there's Letitia with the mother of Gable Steveson, excited for her son's championship. And the Gophers get a Big Ten champion.
Take a look at this work here by Gable Steveson here with that beautiful double and changing of angles. It keeps it, you know, pivots off his knees really well. Look how he using those shoelaces flat, getting a better angle to go ahead and finish the technique.
Let's go to Shane with Gable.
All right, Gable, you and Mason did not wrestle the duel in the regular season. What were you most looking forward to? What was the approach against a tough guy like Parris?
I love the haters. I love the doubters. I've seen on my timeline people saying I'm ducking. I showed up today, and I'll show up in 2 weeks.
How would you assess the way that you wrestled in that match?
I think I wrestled great. Need to pull more triggers. He wrestled excellent also. Hats off to him.
You were a runner-up in Pittsburgh last March. You'll be in Minneapolis. Be a lot of Gopher fans there as well. What is the biggest threat you give to the competition?
Say it again?
What makes you the biggest threat to the rest of the field?
I'm dangerous. I'm lethal. I go for the 7, and I proved it today. Gopher Nation, stand up. I love you.
Congratulations, Gable Steveson, Big Ten champion for the Gophers. Showdown, the top 2 heavyweights in the country. Gable Steveson, the reigning Big Ten champion. Mason Parris, ranked number 2 in the country. Of course, a rematch of that Big Ten final in Piscataway, where Steveson prevailed 8-6.
Yeah, Steveson showed how much maturity he had. He does such a nice job of finding the corners, those outside singles, and it's a clash of styles in a way because Parris is one of those guys that can shoot underneath other heavyweights and power through.
And these two having some fun with each other on Twitter. It was back in December, the RTC Cup. Gable Steveson beat Nick Wisdowski in that event. Had the opportunity to wrestle the Cliff Keen team with Mason Parris, opted not to, and Mason Parris reminding him, hey, you can't run forever. There you see Mason Parris. Huge improvements last year in reaching that Big Ten final. And Gable Steveson, I've said it once, I'll say it again, that is a bad, bad man in that Gopher single.
He certainly improved himself physically, but you take a look at their journey here. Steveson had an injury bulk to Lance, and then Cassioppi and Parris match here. Parris with the big fall early in that one. Kind of a stunner.
These two heavyweights, the head of the class. Heavyweight, a lot of talent in this Big Ten conference, but these two have separated themselves. Gable Steveson, 60-2 in his career. Out of Apple Valley, Minnesota, 4-time Minnesota state champion. Parris, 3-time state champion out of Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Both these junior world champions. Best of the best here at heavyweight.
And normally you see Parris looking for a lot of inside bicep tie stuff, but you can tell he's keeping a little bit of distance here. He's working inside. I think Steveson likes to work off that collar tie. He comes back, see how he worked back to that forearm and got a lot of motion off of that from Parris.
How about
go ahead. I look at that left arm of Steveson. That's really just a guide for me. He can attack on a swing single there. He can work with the underhook. He works with the over collar, and he's got a beautiful left-handed high crotch too.
And those snaps. So much power.
But Jim, as you were talking about the brackets, I was just thinking, how about that path that Parris had and the poise and the confidence, because it was not easy. He had Kirkflint and Cassioppi, but he made it look easy. But that was a difficult path to the finals.
And sometimes, yeah, like you're saying, Tim, I think sometimes that's maybe the best. You know, you want to get to these finals matches, but sometimes having that more difficult path, it, builds confidence. And you've been tested, and just go out there and let it fly. We'll see if Parris is capable of doing that. And so far, He hasn't given up anything early. So we know that Steveson just has that ability. They're driving right through on a straight-on shot. Can Parris get that shin whizzer? He does. Now he's got a 2-on-1, goes with the leg lace. So good work there by Parris on the straight-on shot by Steveson.
Score remains 0-0. There you see Brandon Eggum was an All-American as an athlete at Minnesota under Jay Robinson.
I think the longer Parris can make this match, the better.
Wow.
Look at that.
That's so cool that he was able to go ahead and read that. You put two hands on him. He's going to go ahead and work with the double post right there. Fell right into a beautiful double leg.
Jim, you've been around this sport a long time. You have as well, Tim. Have you seen anything like that at this weight class, that kind of speed and quickness?
Well, I'll tell you what, the thing I haven't seen is the effectiveness of the shots. He's got about a 75% completion rate on his shots, and, you know, that's just out of this world. And there you go, 2 for 2.
Yeah, I think the more that you lay your hands on him, the more that effective that Gable can become. He's saw this earlier the year. I think the transition that you see, it's always so fun to watch these guys develop between their freshman and senior years. But, you know, it seems like Steveson early in his career saw that maybe some of the matches he had with Anthony Cassar, you know, 4.5, 5 minutes of concentration, and maybe it waned a little bit. Right now, you're seeing a Gable Steveson who's thinking something and doing something at the same time.
Check out these highlight reel takedowns.
You take a look at this, is the double leg shot right there off the post. Collar tie and post, and now this is just good swing, go behind into a beautiful single leg finish and just basically pursues it. But look at all that footwork that you saw in that finish.
Yeah,
those feet are they're moving.
You talk about the weight class, any weight class, that kind of movement, that kind of efficiency. Most of the times you shoot, at least half the times you miss the legs. Then when you get to the legs, another half of the times you fail. It's only about a 25% that the average wrestler completes leg attacks, and Steveson completes them 3 out of 4 times.
Those are not typical shots and finishes from guys at this weight class.
And if you're Parris, okay, it got taken down twice by one of the best wrestlers, but it's still 4-3. What can you do now that you've learned and you felt it in this position that you can go ahead and execute? And for whatever reason, something may happen where Gable may slow down, and you might be able to take advantage of it.
And is he slowing down? I mean, you know, it's hard to move like Steveson moves for 7 minutes.
Bo, I want to ask you, are you a little bit surprised that Steveson didn't commit to a ride?
I don't think so. I know Gable has the ultimate goal of making the Olympic team this summer, and so I'm assuming he's been probably training a lot of freestyle. And I would say that, you know, at this point, I don't think that riding is gonna win this match. You got to get takedowns, both guys. You know, you got to be able to score takedowns to win this match.
There's a shot from Parris, but underneath the hips of Gable Steveson, probably going to get a stalemate here. There it is with 49 seconds in the second period. Anthony Cassar, Penn State, the only man to beat Steveson in a Gopher singlet. That was in the Big Ten final in Minneapolis 2 years ago. And then I believe that was an NCAA semifinal.
Keep moving, Mason! Keep moving!
35 seconds here in the second period.
Keep moving, Mason!
You hear that the coaching corner here, big talking about, there's Josh Trellett saying, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving him. They want him to try to make this a more physical match. So if Gable does shut down, which really isn't happening, takedown right there at the edge.
Third takedown. We'll see if he finishes period on top. I would assume that's the goal.
Nice.
A nice return.
And he
That's
collects,
how it's done.
And he collects the wrist. You see that right wrist right there? Just collected it on the way down.
Feel what's happening. This is your best period.
The Gopher doubling up the Wolverine 6-3. That's Trevor Brandvold, two-time Big Ten champion at Wisconsin. All-American for Barry Davis.
Go ahead and get set. Get a fair start. Make sure you wait till the whistle. Okay, top, you may cover.
Mason covers to begin the third.
Nice job. One.
I think Parris recognizes that he's not going to get it done here by trying to ride Steveson. So
is it too early for Parris here to throw the kitchen sink at him? Because you're probably not going to take him down a few times. You need something big, right? Caught between a rock and a hard place here.
Well, Yeah. We know who the Rock is.
Yeah, Parris, he needs to get deeper into his ties, I think, for sure, because he's not going to get it done from such far away being on his shots.
Yeah, there's just so much to ask. I think we're looking at one of the most mobile, better athletes we've ever seen at the weight class. I don't want to demean anybody that we've been really blessed with a lot of great, talented heavyweight in the last few years. And of course, you know, Kyle Snyder, Nick Wistowski. But this is nice stuff.
Some great heavyweights over the years at the University of Minnesota. Go back to Brock Lesnar, national champion Cole Conrad. Remember King Cole? Most recently, Tony Nelson. There have been some great heavyweights that have come out of Minnesota.
Oh, no.
No.
He's confident.
Yeah, this is...
I think this was a match Gable Steveson has been waiting for a long, long time, just to kind of remind everybody who the guy is. Gable Steveson looking for a second Big Ten crown. There have been 4 others in these championships that came in as champions and added another to their resume here in University Park, Pennsylvania. And Gable Steveson is going to make it 5 for 5 in that category.
Yeah, constantly looking for points. Now he's taking him to his back.
On mat 2 for third place, winner by major
Dominant
decision
performance.
from Iowa, Tony Cassioppi.
With the riding time point, it will be a major decision, 12-4 for Gable Steveson. Now a 2-time Big Ten champion for the Golden Gophers.
Major decision with riding time. Final score 12-4.
Gives the Flex
from Minnesota, Gable
aspirations
Steveson.
of being in the WWE. Hopefully after winning an Olympic gold medal, he'll be at the trials down in Fort Worth in early April. He'll be a force to be reckoned with, no doubt about it.
Just the footwork and the balance that he has, the strength. You know, they see that post early shot that he was able to get. You know, the swing single, the angles that he's able to create at his size and the size of his opponents. Really impressive. Snap downs, driving.
Let's send it down to Ray Flores, who's with Gable Steveson.
Thank you very much, Shane. Gable, congratulations on your second straight Big Ten championship. How good did it feel to have a dominating performance over your rival in Michigan's Mason Parris here in the final?
This ain't a rivalry. I came here and did my job. I'm 2-0 against him. I'm going to see him next week, though. I'm not worried about nothing. I put my skills on display right here. It's going to happen again.
How much does it mean to you to continue to add to the rich tradition of wrestling for the Golden Gophers in the heavyweight division? You look at the likes of Brock Lesnar, Cole Conrad, Tony Nelson, and you add to that list.
I mean, it's a great tradition we got in Minnesota. If you want to be the champ, come to Minnesota. Heavyweights out there, just make sure that you get the right recruitment in. Look what we're doing at Minnesota. You could be next.
In 2 weeks, you're going to be competing in the national championships. What do you want to tell the rest of the heavyweights?
I'm coming for y'all again.
Gable Steveson. Back to you, Shane.
All right, Ray, thank you much. Gable Steveson, impressive day at the office for the Gopher. At heavyweights, the top 4 seeds, a rematch of last year's Big Ten final and NCAA championship, Gable Steveson and Mason Parris, and a huge match with Greg Kirkleet and Tony Cassioppi, the Nittany Lion and the Hawkeye in a 2 versus 3 showdown.
Yeah, the reason that's such a huge match is that you take a look what's been happening with the action. And you've just got a bracket stopper there in Gable Steveson here, heavy favorite.
From Penn State.
In this bout over here between Kirkleet and Cassioppi, I think the winner of this is going to be probably at least the 2 seed.
These guys wrestled at the Big Tens last year. Cassioppi, a major decision, 9-0. Then at the duel in Iowa City, Kirkfleet got a quick takedown, and then Cassioppi 7 unanswered to win it 7-2.
Yeah, Kirkfleet came out really strong in that dual meet and got that takedown, and you said, wow. I mean, this could be Kirkfleet's night, but Cassioppi really came back with a vengeance.
Was able to get that right-handed underhook going. As you see Gable Steveson's quick spin around here on Mason Parris. And you mentioned Tim in the open, how great of an athlete Mason Parris is, and great heavyweight, and it's just that
there's a greater one.
Yeah, there's the greatest.
Timing is everything.
Yeah.
This is bad timing.
I mean, we talked a few years ago. I mean, this guy's an athlete, Mason Parris. I mean, football, track, field, all-state and everything in
I think
Indiana.
he ran hurdles.
He did. He ran hurdles and was an all-state in low hurdles. And then there's Gable.
Parris winning 3 state titles in Indiana at Lawrenceburg High School.
All-state fullback.
Gable Steveson, all his victories this season, bonus point wins. Kirkfleet and Cassioppi scoreless. 1:15 first period. There on your right. Steveson a takedown, leading it 2-1.
Interesting. Kirkfleet was able to go ahead, and when he was able to beat Mason Parris, he tacked that leg that Cassioppi has wrapped up pretty solidly there, but Cassioppi's keeping that leg back. It's a natural to his style, but it's you know, it's keeping his opponent here. Cassioppi's keeping his opponent being comfortable attacking that leg by keeping it back. And one thing that we've been impressed with Cassioppi is that with his body locks and how he basically bear hugs the guy, puts a lot of pressure on those thoracic vertebrae here, and guys just go down. He had a great throw.
It's high percentage, high percentage, you know. And you're right. Maybe there's a secret button that he knows about right behind where he puts those, where he locks it up, but they go down.
Yep. Second takedown of the period for Gable Steveson. Gable Steveson's only losses to Anthony Cassar back in 2019. Just 18 years old at the time. And he looks nothing like that anymore.
There's 1 point awarded to Gable Steveson there with some little hands to the face call.
Little roll right here, and so Kirkfleet anticipated that, got the side roll and got the reversal.
And that was huge because Cassioppi very good in that top position. Eric Schultz will wrestle for the Big Ten Championship tomorrow, his 3rd appearance in the Big Ten Finals, and he's standing by with Ray Flores.
Thanks very much, Shane. Eric in front of the hometown fans here in Lincoln. We are in Cornhusker country. What does this finals appearance mean to you?
I mean, I can't describe it. It's just incredible. I mean, like, I got fans right here saying my name, and I mean, that's just awesome. I mean, I could be biased, but this is the best Big Tens I've been through so far.
Do you feel like you are a man of destiny in the sense that it is happening here at home? You beat a very competitive and a very determined Pat Bruckey, but do you feel like everything is in the cards for you to win a Big Ten championship?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like that every year. I think it's up to me every time I step out there on the mat. So it's physically and mentally prepared, and I don't know, but I don't think about that stuff this year. I thought about it a lot last year. So I just go out there and try and be grateful, wrestle 7 hard minutes, and leave it all out there. That's it, really.
Eric, congratulations. We'll see you tomorrow in the finals.
Oh, yeah. I'll see you, too.
All right, back to you, Shane. That's a very excited Eric Schultz.
He might be a little biased, Shane.
His favorite Big Tens. Kirkfleet, that critical reversal. He's up 2-1. 22nd second period.
Yeah, Cassioppi on top, right where he wants to be at the start of this period, and Kirkfleet is able to
get that side roll, elevate, and get the reversal.
Steveson has the crowd oohing and eyeing as he tacks on 2 more.
This was big. Cassioppi going in, he's getting out on his toes, and Kerkvliet felt that. He was out on his toes, got kept the hand there, elevated, and rolled for the 2.
That's the type of stuff that you need to do when a guy's parallel riding you there. Okay, he waits, and then he puts a little forward pressure into you. You make the turn, and then elevate. Just elevate the inside of the guy's opponent's thigh here, and you can put him to his back. Old school stuff there.
Pinching hard on that right side is Kerkvliet. Cassioppi now to his feet, fights hands and escapes. We're 2-2 with Cassioppi and Kerkvliet. Kerkvliet, a 4-time state champion at Simley, Minnesota. For Will Shorts, of course, Steveson, 4-time state champion at Apple Valley, Minnesota.
Kerkvliet's hunting right now. He's got his footwork going. In and out. Right there. Nice attempt there by Cassioppi. Stepped out it pretty well. Both these guys are moving their feet well.
Yeah, Cassioppi working from the space right there. Saw the opportunity for an angle, moved himself, but Kerkvliet was able to avoid having Cassioppi latch on, but it was a nice shot.
Straight on shot right there. He catches him.
He does. He's got that ankle back there. He's nice shot there, right through. He shot through Cassioppi.
Yep, you could just tell he was hunting that, from distance, and he got the right spot. Dove in and Cassioppi a little bit flat-footed. Quick escape, though, puts him in position to be able to. Now a mat return, Shane.
That's how you get it done.
Yeah, that was an impressive first 15 seconds of ride by Kerkvliet. Now he's adding another 15 seconds or so, but he's putting a lot of pressure on Cassioppi.
Yeah, not much time left here, 11 seconds. This is right where Kerkvliet wants to be. Oh, gives up the reversal.
At 59 seconds.
Incredible.
Not quite where he wanted to be.
Every single second matters.
Wow, yeah. Every second.
Unbelievable sequence there. I just thought that, he was comfortable in the scramble. It could. No.
Still 4 seconds left. We are going to sudden victory, 4-4. Check out this reversal.
Take that.
Yeah, Cassioppi comes up. He keeps coming up.
Well, yeah, but he just crawled off the mat, right? It's just so tempting for guys in critical situations just to go ahead and just. Now Cassioppi in on a shot here. Can he switch to a double leg? It looks like he can get that right arm across.
Got to keep that head tight to the hip.
For that far ankle.
He's got to scoop away.
He's got it.
Wow.
In dramatic fashion, Tony Cassioppi is headed to the Big Ten Finals.
Such a critical match. Penn State and Iowa are going to compete for the national title. This might have been the first match of the national tournament. Such a critical match for seeding.
Late reversal to tie it, and a takedown and sudden victory to ice the win.
And on the high crotch there, and as he comes through, comes up, look at how tight that head is. Okay, uses the head as a lever, and there he catches that ankle, drives across the hips, and flattens out for the 2.
Gable Steveson has a cradle locked.
And
he's in
Jim,
line for another major.
Yeah, Jim, you're so right. I mean, that just probably jumped Kerkvliet up to the 4-5 spot on the same side as Gable Steveson. If Colton Schultz wins the Pac-12, it probably just it's a huge position.
Huge sequence here for Cassioppi. Huge opportunity. Of course, it's just seeding, but again, first match of the national tournament. Maybe what happened here at the semifinals at heavyweight.
Another major decision for Gable Steveson. He'll run 97 is going to be quite the weight class at the NCAA Championships in a couple weeks in Detroit. At heavyweight, the Olympic champion Gable Steveson, the #1 seed, and Tony Cassioppi of Iowa, he's the 2 seed. He had an incredible semifinal victory last night, came back to beat Greg Kerkvliet of Penn State. Gable Steveson 12-0,
all of his victories bonus point victories. As we take a look at the tunnel, there he is, the Olympic champion Gable Steveson of Minnesota. Gable Steveson looking for his third Big Ten title. We do not see Tony Cassioppi in the tunnel. No sign of the Hawkeye Cassioppi. Gable Steveson 5-0 in his career against the Hawkeye. Gable Steveson from Apple Valley, Minnesota. He has done a lot of winning. Four-time state champion in high school. Two-time Big Ten champion, reigning national champion. And you hear the boos here inside Pinnacle Bank Arena. A bit of a disappointment. The showman Gable Steveson gives the thumbs up, and he's going to get a standing ovation. Gable Steveson with the three fingers up. And now he is officially a three-time Big Ten champion. The accolades continue to build for the 21-year-old Gable Steveson. So we'll start to cover the third place match. That's